Greetings. I'm Dr. Frank Beaty. My wife and I live in Bloomington, Illinois, where we moved in 2014 after living nearly 20 years in Burlington, Iowa. Those two town names are easy to get mixed up. But we're in Bloomington, Illinois, central Illinois. I've had many of you for a previous class and enjoyed that, and I look forward to another 8 weeks learning together with you as we study biblical interpretation capstone, the use of the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's going to be a stimulating 8 weeks as we think hard and deeply on various issues related to the use of Old Testament citations in the New Testament, especially focusing on the book of Hebrews. There are really wonderful reading assignments. I don't agree with all of them, but that's part of learning, isn't it? And being able to discern what is precisely accurate and where we want to put question marks in the margin. You'll probably want to read some of those assignments twice or maybe 3 times, and periodically there may be one that you want to read another time. The great discussion boards and the assignments are related to life so that you will develop a very strong foundation for ministry with biblically accurate theological systems. I'm convinced every one of us will be challenged to think and evaluate on a deeper level. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of Moody Bible Institute, Dallas Theological Seminary, and I earned my doctorate at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. Now, there's more information about me in the faculty info, and there's also more information in my discussion board that tells a little bit more about who I am. One of the lessons my mom and dad taught me as a child, and really through life, is that learning is to be a lifelong endeavor. I commend you for making that choice and embarking on this program that you're about to complete. That's awesome. As we keep learning, we keep growing in our understanding of ourselves as well as our relationship with God, or at least I hope that we do. My parents had a very deep love for the Lord Jesus Christ as farmers, and a deep appreciation for the multifaceted ministry of Moody Bible Institute. As when I was a kid back in the 50s, they became thrilled with what Moody was doing on the worldwide front when most organizations were still somewhat asleep. We have 3 children, and all of them and 2 of their spouses are graduates of Moody. One didn't quite make graduation. Marriage interfered. And then we have 2 grandchildren and their spouses are graduates of Moody. 2 more grandchildren have taken online studies from Moody. We have a grandson who's planning to enroll next fall. And my brother and sister are both graduates, and my brother's wife is a graduate of Moody. So we have a lot of heritage in Moody Bible Institute. I began my ministry experience as a 19-year-old kid when a pastor friend wanted to talk to me and challenged me to consider being a student pastor, weekend pastor for a church that had just voted a mainline denomination out. I was stunned at his request, but in honor and respect to him, I agreed that I would preach for them one Sunday, and they invited me to embark on the journey with them in September 1962. So it's been a fun journey for many years. I traveled by train from Chicago Union Station down to Galesburg, Illinois, where my car was parked, and I would do pastoral ministry on the weekend, and early on Monday morning, about 1 o'clock, I would board the train and head back to Chicago to begin my responsibilities at Moody. I guess that'd be a nice way to say it. I was very active in the student missionary movement. After a week after graduation, I married my college sweetheart, Judy Crawford, who is also a graduate of Moody, and we continued at that little church 4 more years after graduation. I am appalled at some of those early sermon notes I look back on, but I thank God for gracious and loving people who helped me embark on pastoral ministry. We have 3 children. Our oldest is Andrew. He also serves with Moody Distance Learning and administrative responsibilities. They have 5 biological children. The 4 oldest are married. They have 3 grandchildren, which makes that 3 great-grandchildren for us. They live in Bloomington. They also have 6 adopted special needs children. 5 of those are still at home, and each of them have significant psychological, emotional, nervous issues related to the abuse of drugs and alcohol during their pregnancy. So we give them a lot of support, especially my wife. Our second son, Stephen, is in the military. He went to school with the Army at William and Mary University in Williamsburg, Virginia. He is stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but is currently deployed to Afghanistan. He hopes to be home from his 9-month deployment prior to Christmas. And his wife does too. They have 6 children at home and 4 older children who are married. They also have 3 grandchildren. Then our youngest, Esther, also lives in Bloomington. Her husband is a corrections officer at the maximum security prison in Pontiac, Illinois. They have 5 children. Their oldest recently married, and they are serving the Lord here in Bloomington also. So if you did that math right, we have 3 children. We have 26 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. We've served the Lord together in Herman, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Pontiac, Illinois, Glendale, Texas, McHenry, Illinois, and Burlington, Iowa. I joined Interim Pastor Ministries in 2008 and have served as an intentional interim specialist in Garner, Iowa, Williston, North Dakota, Derby, Vermont, and in Mononk, Illinois. So that runs through my resume kind of quickly. I love to equip people for ministry in the spirit of Ephesians 4:12. In fact, my license plate says equipper. Prepare yourself for some hard thinking. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be profitable. I've already posted a number of announcements. So that's the way I'm able to communicate with you. So be sure to check those out. Read them carefully. Normally, as most of you may recall, I post 2 announcements each week. One on Monday, looking forward to the coming week that will start at midnight Monday night, and then on Friday to kind of wrap things up. So, God bless. Have a great time. I'll be talking to you Monday.